And hey, Rick,
Hey, Megan.
here we are. It's Tuesday. We're on time, and I'm coming to you live from my dining room because our office last week, we sprung a leak and the floor was soaking wet. And so they opened up the wall, and there's some big cavern, like that's under some stairs, and there was a leak. Everything's wet. I
Oh
don't know,
no.
Rick. It does not sound very good. So,
Oh, well, I have a contractor for you.
yeah, no thanks. I'll pass on that one. All right. All right. Let's get
Just trying
started. Are you
to, trying
ready?
to help there a little bit. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, we already talked about what our discussion was going to be about today. So I think we've had time to think about it so we can add as much value as possible in the shortest period of time. So, recently coming up here, we're going to have some big changes in the real estate industry, and it's going to be epic. It's the first time ever that it's going to be required that buyers agents have contracts with their buyers, and that the compensation is clear. And I think it's actually going to be great. Uh, what industry do people walk around working for people that they have no promise of payment or compensation for their time? So I think it's great. Bring it on. Let's do it. That sort of
Yeah.
thing. And it's really, got a lot of people upside down about this and stressing out and that sort of thing. And, change happens and they'll figure it out. But I'm looking forward to it because I think it's going to really force realtors to level it up a bit. And I told you that I got a couple of offers in the last week, a couple on a condo and a couple on a house. And I think about my buyers whenever I write offers, they're usually like totally invested in buying the house that we're writing an offer for, right? Like they're excited, they want it,
Yeah.
they're get this house for me. Oh, my realtor is going to work so hard. And then I get the offer in my email, and it's like there's no salutation, there's no introduction, there's no information. And
No
then
game plan.
and then I start opening the attachments, and it's got the names wrong, or whose bank statement is this, or whatever. And it's like, man, and then you have to go chasing them down. It's like if your buyer knew how you were presenting their offer, how would they feel? Would they feel like you're doing the best that you can, And we have a saying in our house, because I'm a big meanie around here. And the saying is, how you do one thing is how you do everything. How you do
True.
one
So
thing
true.
is how you do everything. So take your time. There's no hurry. This isn't a timed event. And just chill out and get it right. And then, I have to hunt down the loan officer and get information from them. I had this one of them that, I really thought, was a good offer, and there was a gift funds, and nobody explained this to me. I just get the offer with the down payment, and then I get a bank statement from somebody else. I'm like, who's this person? What did you attach this by mistake? I don't know. Oh, that's the gift funds. Like, explain yourself then. Explain it. Like, is this what I have to look forward to for the next 30 something days? And so then I said, well, where's your gift fund letter? They don't have a gift fund letter. It's like, well, how far are you into this loan process? I mean,
Like 30 minutes, maybe?
I know,
Or
like,
maybe 30
what are
minutes
you
in?
doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had to
Yeah.
tell the agent, I said, listen, when you do gift funds, you don't just like transfer the money to your kid's account or whoever it is. There's a whole,
Process.
reconciliation of where this money came from. And you, as the gifter, are going to have to participate. Am I wrong?
You're totally correct.
Yeah.
You
And
are
so
totally correct.
half the time, I think people think they're going to give funds to somebody to help them buy the house, and then that's the end of their journey. It's like, no, you have to participate, and you've got to do some of this work too. And I think people get annoyed with that because it's not convenient, but
Yeah, gosh, we talk about this stuff a lot, about being really prepared, and we both deal with this. Our transactions, as we all know, are a lot different when you and I are together on a transaction. But I deal with the same thing with other realtors that I work with home buyers, because I'm not their realtor. I cannot be their realtor, and I work with certain agents, and I try to give as much guidance as I can, but I can't make them do something, of course. But they go into these situations with offers, and I know they're not even going to get a counter because they've approached it wrong. Everything about it's wrong, and their attitude is, well, let's see what they say. Well, breaking news: we know what they're going to say. No, thank you.
Right.
I'll take another offer. And so we deal with that a lot. And we talked about this earlier today, but sometimes what I want to say about that process is to put it in different contexts. Look, if you're in a legal situation and you go into court with your attorney, do you want your attorney to walk into court going, let me see, Your Honor, do you want this document? Oh, do you want that? What do you need from me? Let me give you what I have. Tell me what you think. Guess what? I talk to buyers and they say, yeah, but my realtor is a really nice person. I get it. Really, really nice. But you know what? That attorney might be a really nice person too. But that attorney's not going to keep you out of jail either. So, right? So you've got to be prepared. You have to have a game plan. You have to execute. And it's painful to me for me to watch. And I know for you as well, because we know the outcome, and guess who gets injured the most? It's the poor home buyer who really wanted a house. And we can't deliver it.
Exactly. It's like, what are you doing? Like, properly present this. So hopefully this will level things up again. But home buyers, you better buckle up, because you're going to have to sign a contract with your realtor, and you're going to have to agree to compensate them if the seller is not offering compensation for the buyer's agent. So this is going to be a whole new ball game for buyers, but maybe now that they're paying for this service, they'll pay better attention to who the realtor is. And what they're doing for them. You know what I mean? But
boy, that's just so much behind that, as we both know. And we can see so much more, no doubt.
Exactly. So buyers, this week I would say to you, I nobody's ever asked me to do this, but I always BCC my clients on all the emails, so that way they know what is going on, the things that they need to be included on, so they know as soon as I submit their offer, they see everything there, and they're included, they're part of the process. I want them to know that I'm, on top of things and working hard for them. So, I mean, buyers, do your research on your realtors, make sure they're selling recently. That was another thing. I had somebody do some silly thing, and they're like, oh, well, this is happening on this transaction I have now, so I'm bringing it to you on potentially this next transaction. And I'm like, well, how many transactions have you had this year that you have set a precedent that you're now making decisions about and taking to other escrows? They've had one sale all year, and then this, I mean, it's just like, oh my gosh. So you guys do your research on your agents, look at their reviews, Google them, Yahoo them. I don't care how you figure it out, but seriously, do your research and make sure it's somebody that is actively selling real estate
my gosh, yes.
As a full-time agent. You can have two
it's not a
full-time
side
jobs.
hustle.
Yeah,
Of
go ahead.
course.
Have two full-time jobs.
Right.
I worked 2 jobs for years before I became a full-time realtor. But anyway, that's my rant for today.
Well, it's a valid rant because we deal with this every week. I've got offers out right now with other agents, and I just hope for the best. That's all I can do.
Hope is not a strategy, as you always say.
It's not a strategy. That's what I say. Absolutely correct.
All right, Rick. Well, that's good advice for people to pay attention, hold your realtor accountable, get BCC'd on messages, look at their reviews, who's mostly reviewing them, what do they have to say, how are they going to present your offer, how are they going to represent you? Like I had one
Right.
that came over yesterday that had nothing written in the email. It was just,
Oh,
and
there's the
I'm
offer.
absolutely
Yeah.
sure the agent didn't send that over. It was probably an assistant, but anyway.
Well, yeah, back to your point earlier, though, we cannot stress this enough. It is critical on every transaction to have a very clear game plan, a clear path to
Mhm.
acceptance. You just
Mhm.
cannot go in there hoping for the best, see what they're going to say, see how they're going to respond. That is
Mhm.
not the way you're going to win. You'll never
Yeah,
win that way.
never ever. All right,
That's
Rick,
right.
I appreciate you,
Appreciate
and
you, Megan.
we will talk again next week.
We'll do it. Thanks.
All
See
right,
ya.
bye.